There. So, I'm going to have my coffee. I already had my croissant. My quick trip croissant. Yeah, that's something. Yeah. So number 100's gone. 99 is gone. Or 98. This one's 99. That one's 101. Keeping track of these numbers. Gosh, it's getting confusing. So anyway, what's happening today other than that? Oh, I was going to talk about my lifts a little bit here. I saw a thing on YouTube where a young guy working on motorcycles and stuff, and he was talking about table lifts. And he's got the Harbor Freight unit, and he was talking about the difference between, the older ones and the new ones, and that the older ones were better and that kind of thing. And he was saying he didn't like air lifts because they run on air. Well, there is a difference. I went many, many years, well, most of my life really, without lifts. I did everything kneeling on the ground and laying on the floor and all that kind of stuff. And I never liked those lifts the small ones like you used to get them at Craftsman's and you get them at Harbor Freight and all over. Roll them underneath there and all they do is lift up the bike so that you can throw it on the ground better. To me, it was just a balancing act. You got the bike teetering on there and, you got to be so gingerly about everything. I just never liked them. And so when I got into the business here, one of my very first investments was a table lift. And I had 3 of them for a while. I'm down to 2 because I had one at home. They're really nice. They fold down to within 6 inches, so you can leave them in the garage. You can drive your car or truck right over the top of them, so they're not in the way. They are on wheels, and you kind of wheel them around like a wheelbarrow, so they're not that hard to move. They're not extremely heavy. Any kind of air compressor that can get up to 100 psi will lift them. I mean, when I get done with the trikes, they probably weigh in excess of 1,200 pounds, and that doesn't have any trouble lifting them. I've never had an issue with these lifts. They're identical air lifts. I think the first one I got on sale for like $650, and then about $100 more for the other one. I think I bought them like 3 years apart. Excellent things though, just excellent. And they've got the plate that pulls out of the back. It's just so easy to change tires. I mean, it's just a plain slam dunk to wheel a tire. I can change the tire on a Goldwing. If it's mounted, you're looking at under 10 minutes. You can do a wheel swap. Yeah, they're great. And then I've got the little red, they're called Extreme Max lifts, which I stick under the front of the bike. Those are super handy also. I get those I've got 3 of those. I get them at Amazon, and I think they're like $30 or something. I don't know, I'd have to look. But they're really handy because, even as a trike, I stick them under the front end. I can lift both wheels off the ground and wash the wheels and clean them real good and everything. Then I move it to the back, and even though it's got the center stand, I put this under the center stand and jack the back wheel way up. Well, the thing is really stable because it forms such a nice platform. I can scrub the back tire and then put it in gear and let it idle as I spray water in there and get the thing nice and clean, and it just works great. And those are 2 things, the Harbor Freight one, I think anything's better than the lift it and throw it on the ground lifts. The table lift, if I was going to just if I had like a little hobby deal, or if I was, one of these guys that nonstop putzes on his motorcycle, that would be okay. It would be okay, but it would not be good for a commercial environment like this. It'd just be so slow and so clunky, because you got to foot pedal, you got to pump the thing up and let the thing down, and these things are up, they're down. I mean, constantly, and it takes seconds to get the thing all the way up or all the way down, and I could get them at any height I really want, and they work really good. And I've got the platform here, so when I drive in here, I drive directly onto the lift. I don't need ramps, I don't need any of that stuff. The downside of that is I'm about 7.5, 8 inches off the floor here. So, I'm basically kneeling down when I work on the sides of the bike, but, it's kind of a decent compromise. But anyway, you know, if you're serious about it, I would investigate the airlifts. They're a pretty good deal. Stupid air compressor. That's the downside to the airlifts, is right in the middle of videos, the air compressor kicks in. One of these days I'm going to figure out a way of putting my air compressor in another room. I can't put it in these rooms back here because we've got the dance studio. And the dancers would not like it. God, that's about all I got going today. So I'm going to finish up my coffee here and I'm going to go back to work and get these two guys ready to go. I am hitting 100% on greased front axles. I have yet to come across one that is not greased. Seems like kind of a funny thing to be focused on, but I kind of focus on things that are so stupid. Why would you grease an axle? It's just an axle. It doesn't turn, it doesn't do anything, it just axles. It's dumb. It's almost as dumb as magic red dots on the tires. You ever notice there's no magic red dot on a motorcycle tire? How do you know how to balance a motorcycle tire? It can't be done. There's no magic dot. I don't know. That is a mystery. I'm going to work. That's what I'm doing. I'm going to drink my coffee first.